Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Attorney, where today we are doing day 3 trial form. And now I finished off the day 2 investigation, and it was a lot of mucking about and finding fingerprints. And we do find on one of the lockers Jake Marshall's fingerprints on the locker with one of the blood. So he might be up to something. We'll see. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Wow. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologise for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope it didn't hold you too long for questions. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. Police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you. Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. This scar. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Scott? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Oh, I will. Don't worry. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Scott. The defence is ready, Your Honour. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually appeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, the trial resumed. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. It's Meekins. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir, I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. I don't know why I do that every time he shouts in the bloody megaphone. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fool him for a lack of enthusiasm. For Christ's sake. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until after another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir, he knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defence may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Suppress him on all of them. Okay. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the chief detective, sir. Oh, that nightmare fuel. Huh? I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here on my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is, I found it! This one right here. Could you please read us that number? Yes, sir, it's 498 9596. I see, but the number 498949596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time was when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Okay. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened there? Well, with me charging on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to protect. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... I grabbed the man by his collar. By his collar? What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, he punched him right in my face. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offence, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying to that's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned into the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what's happened. Yes, Your Honour, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection!
I'm not keep speaking like that. It's funny, though. But I specifically asked if there was such a tape and was told it had been mistakenly erased. But that's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? It's not even going to be a murder. Oh, it's the Blue Badger. Well, there's I'm assuming Don Goodman. Oh, his bloody name is Mr. Detective Goodman. Opening a locker. That glove come out. And there's Meekins. Oh, this is slow as hell, man. Oh, damn, he just slashed him. And then Meekins he got his ass kicked by the looks of it. He disappeared. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wiggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honour, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Oh. Mystery Man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be no one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defence may begin its cross-examination. The evidence begins with contradictions. That's where I'll have to start. I don't know what to do with this guy. Okay. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at it? Face of the man who attacked you with a knife. Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter, that you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Ah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Some say it was him! I'll bet my badge on it! Okay. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is a few headlessly. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or me. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. We only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. Wonder what kind of methods he tried. If the man opened the lockers, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point to end this too. I wonder my voice is doing all these. I should really just speak normally. Yeah. It's fine. How do you know that information? I've heard rumours, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information from a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprints. It did he? That's the question. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. If I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. Answer or state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defence can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Oh, here we go. It's interesting. Your Honour, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defence point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out? Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. Set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. This is where it gets annoying because you're going to watch this video so many bloody times. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction? It's the lights on. Interesting. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Me. Sir, do you mean... As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Oh no. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Oh gosh, here we go again. This is going to be annoying. This is always going to be now. You just keep watching the same video. Do 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 do. And also, that piece of paper or whatever it was not in there when this guy walked in. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Oh no, do we have to? He had gloves on. And the light's on. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honour. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. The Order, order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Maybe something like jam the system's sensors. Something jammed the sensors, eh? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Oh, Christ. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. Rewind, bro. The glove. The glove. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh gosh, we're going to watch this so many times. It's going to be I'm going to go to bed after this and just dream this scene in my head. I'm going to have a dream of this scene. Oh crap. Break the controller. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Well, you're not going to see it from here, technically. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie... Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. I think I've finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defence please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? It was the glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Miki? Sir, it would appear so, sir. I like the way when he's straight, he's like... Order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defence has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, ooh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. There's one other thing that proves that man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, you must use the ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Yeah, but anyone could have picked it up. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Yes, the ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on it. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleaned up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Yeah, I mean, someone could have easily nicked that ID off of him to use it. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory side, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Very true. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. Keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. That prosecutor again. So staring. You've got the It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. I mean, he can't seem to get any respite, can he? Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. Okay, so... yeah, I know what it is. I'm just thinking about it. It's probably going to be the ID card on the last one. Yes, I thought it was. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not going to wait, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No, when I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honour, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes, CR2. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Huh? Well, I guess that's right. Something wrong, Mr. Wright. Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. Seems you're finally real. It's exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used a murder weapon. Oh dear, Phoenix, you donut. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It's all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encounter, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honour, Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else, Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object, of course. One moment, Your Honour. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Oh, of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. And now, look, watch. That's Marshall's locker. Or Marshall touched that. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth, yes, Your Honour. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honour. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testified. What is his whole name? It's Mr. Bambino, sir. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, you should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. He shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Well, will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Oh, here we go. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. Huh? Ilana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. Oh, come. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. To top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so have you brought what I asked? Oh my gosh, you mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might really need them, so I had them brought. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Oh wow. Joe Dart killings. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what, now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What, my name's... I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. This SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killing. Joe Dark? No. That's over with. No. Oh! You know what? I just remembered I gotta be some. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be justifiable. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. My God. This is what I love about these games. You never know what's going to happen next. The twists and turns and all the trials. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will be back next time and we will be doing day 3, the second half of the trial. So thank you and goodbye.